Who uncovered Grivium Mshoshovi go Kempton Park?
I don't know, tell me.
Mshoshovi, his family got deep proof, Kuwa Shabalala. It's Winnie Mandela who pointed out the grave. How did she know that Mshoshovi is there? Yeah, the biographies. That's where they were implicating Percy and Winnie Mandela. Where Chris Hani was adamant that they cannot implicate Winnie. Jump there and lie down. I had a pistol with me, still had, and just fire one shot to indicate to these soldiers that I'm armed.
Yeah.
But it was too late. Before I could reach that place, they already had me.
Where?
On the buttocks. Mamasela said, a premier and the MEC, Zuma, Matthew Posa. So all the questions that we need to know from them, the answers, why did you interdict? Not on behalf of the ANC, because the ANC took culpability. Because the ANC took, those who had left the country illegally got the amnesty. So,
why is it?
ZAPU does not have a good relationship with the ANC.
What do they do? Why?
The ANC is forced to back ZAPU because of Lancaster. Who's our paymaster? The ANC. The British are still a hold. Our guys fought alongside Zebra, Zimbabwe, and others, Baba, PAC, if they fought alongside ZAPU. And then came to the time the negotiations. Mugabe went alone. They were in alliance Linkomo.
Mashiane Politicallyincorrect, another day, another blessing. We are blessed with the struggle of our time, a veteran of a struggle of our time. What does it mean? It's another opportunity for us to have an eye into the lives that our forebearers, the people who went and sacrificed their lives for this struggling time. We call struggle the apartheid time in South Africa. Colloquially, we understand what we mean when we say during the struggle, and others would of course say we are still struggling. I'm going to take this opportunity to understand his politics and why he did what he was doing. And fasten your seatbelt. This one is going to be a big one. The term MAFUYA. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right. Let me adjust your mic because you're sitting a bit far from your mic. Let me do this. I wanted to see your face. That should be perfect. That should be perfect. Okay, let's see. The term MAFUYA. Kimang, where were you born? When? And why did you think it was important to waste your youthful years to fight the system?
Yes, thanks for the opportunity. I am Joseph MAFUYA. Was born in Matadiele in the year 1952. Both my parents passed on in 1958 and 1959, and subsequently I was adopted by my aunt, hence the surname Koetle. As a young male, we always aspire to assume our father's surname. So I will delve into that later, why I had to revert back to MAFUYA, because I know that I was a MAFUYA. So in the early 60s, during my youth, I experienced a lot of problems with regard to the system. the apartheid system that was prevalent that time. Imagine you are a young man, you are supposed to carry a dompas. During school holidays, you had to be issued with a school permit in order for the system not to arrest you or harass you. But the culmination of everything all happened after 1976. When I saw what the Poors did to us as a youth, when we were protesting against Africans. However, I did not go into exile then. I thought things will change for the better. But an incident happened in 1981 where I worked. I was working for Liberty Life Assurance Company. You know, then that insurance company was predominantly white. I happened to find myself working in a white-dominated department as the only African male. Now, during that time, promotion came with service. The time came when it was ripe for me to be promoted to a supervisory level. I was the only black in that department. It was the actuarial department where insurance quotations were done. I didn't know that I was going to be promoted. But it was one day when the department hosted a birthday party for one lady, a white lady who was leaving. She was a Greek lady.
Yes.
She was supposed to go back.
Apologies, I just want to put the microphone right next to you. Yes. Yeah, that would be better. Thank you.
This young lady, her name was Sherry. She was going back to her homeland, that is Greece. And during the celebration period, she pulled me aside and whispered into my ear and said that, you know what, Joe, you know that I'm leaving today, but I can assure you that after I've left, you won't be here in the next 2 weeks. That caught me as a surprise. So I wanted to know why she was saying that to me. She laughed it off. I chased her around until she told me the truth. She said, one day I was not in the office. Management had a meeting with other staff members, predominantly white ladies. And it appears management was testing waters. They wanted to know if their ladies would be comfortable with me, with Joseph Koetle then supervising them. So the answer was unanimous. They wouldn't accept it. They would rather leave than be supervised by me. So this I got from Sherry. That did not augur well with me. That day was a sad day for me. It was in May. It was in April, if I remember well. Towards the end of April, 1981. Because I remember there was a long weekend coming, the 1st of May. So after hearing this from Sherry, I then decided to approach my manager to ask for a long weekend and a long leave. She assented to my request. He assented to my request. You know, in each and every department, job is allocated. So there were certain files that I know that I specialized in, and they were due for calculations. And during my absence, if I'm not there, the people remaining in the department were supposed to deal with them. So manager agreed. Then I went on leave. I came back. I left on Thursday. So I came back the following week, Wednesday. When I got back from my leave, I found my desk full of these dockets that were supposed to have been done by these white ladies who had remained behind. So I approached my manager. I said, look, I've been absent for the past days. So please tell those ladies that were here, they must complete this job because I need to start the new web job for the new week. I'm not prepared to do that job because they knew that I specialized in that. Manager couldn't listen to me. He couldn't agree with me. He said to me, no, Joe, do it and then we'll discuss about that during lunchtime. I said, I'm not here to discuss anything. You remove those dockets or I am off. He went back to the staff. I don't know what he said to them. But when he came back, he was adamant that, no, I continue with the job and then we'll discuss over lunch. That was my last day working for a Liberty Life. I deserted. And there was one thing in my mind then that, Joe, things are not going to change in South Africa. You are staying here and other people are out there training to come and fight. Why are you wasting your time? I had some comrades, some friends who had left, who had skipped the country. So that's when I said, I'm going into exile, but I don't want to go into exile to go and stay in exile. I want to go train and come back and die for my children, for my grandchildren, and for everybody in South Africa, so that they shouldn't go through what we have been going through. Here is me with all my brains and intelligence. They are supposed to promote me at work. Because of my skin color, management decided that they would rather compromise my promotion because of the ladies. So if I was white, perhaps there wouldn't have been that furore.
So they were junior to you?
Yes, because that's how, the service, I was longer in the service. So it was my time. That's why Sherry told me that, Joe, you're about to be promoted. Now that's why there was that testing. So now that's what led me to go into exile, to go and receive my training. I was fortunate because I went to Swaziland. And when I got into Swaziland, most of the comrades who were my former schoolmates. Some were my teachers who knew who the hell I was. I'm sorry to use that word. So after speaking to them, they introduced me to their commander, who is late now, by the name of George. That was a pseudonym, who took care of me.
Before we go further, please tell us your battle name.
Spaceman.
Spaceman.
Aka Masupa.
Man.
Aka Mandla.
Masupa. Mandla.
Aka Tsitso.
Tsitso. Yes?
Those were, but the famous one is Spaceman.
Spaceman. So what is Garasho?
No, I know it's so Harasho, it's fine.
Fine.
Yeah. No, he said Harasho. I don't know, he said that because when after we having a conversation, and if I'm satisfied, that's Russian. I would say Harasho.
Okay, Harasho.
Yeah, that's Harasho. It's fine. So Kruger said Harasho. I know that's why you wrote it down.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he does not understand Russian.
Okay. I see you speak a lot of Russian.
No, because I said spasibo.
Yes.
Thank you. No, I'm learning.
Okay. All right. And then?
Then arrangement we made for me. But one of the comrades was my former teacher school, by the code name Dihang, said to me, he opened up my ears and eyes because I had posed questions on them before indulging into the training, engaging the training. And I was surprised that a number of our comrades who had left for exile, whenever they came back into the country, the boss already knew, and they would be intercepted. So what was the problem? So the Gang said to me, Joe, precisely because of that, we will train you here, you'll receive everything here for the next 6 months, and after that, you get back into the country. He said, the mistake that we have made, to quote the mess comrade, that whenever you go into exile, you go to Angola, where your biography is going to be taken, and your photo is going to be taken. That means that if you get back infiltrated into the country, those people in Angola, there is somebody, or in Lusaka. You've asked me about the pseudonym. You'll find that when you go back home, the system already knows about your pseudonyms. That's why comrades, whenever they get back into the country, they get intercepted. So it's best here, you must not be known at the back, because that's where the problem is. Because if we are known from the rear, that's how we revert it to it. If you are known from the rear, your safety is no longer guaranteed. So here is us, we're training you, you're reporting to us. In Lusaka, they don't know who we are dealing with here. They'll only know your pseudonym. They won't know your right names. Hence, you see, I have so many pseudonyms. Because once they can know your right name, your cover is already blown out. So that's why then we finished off everything in Swaziland. And I got infiltrated back into the country, doing my reconnaissance as normal and whatever, engaged in training other youth underground.
Where in Swaziland were you based?
In Babane.
Okay.
Yes. Something terrible happened, but we'll come to that.
Okay.
In 1982, I lost my commander, George, who was killed by the system in Swaziland. Then I had vendetta. I wanted to avenge his death. Then in 1986, I received some ordnance that I'd requested. The ordnance that would assist me in avenging the death of my comrades. But I knew, because we are politically schooled, that my targets won't be civilians, and I won't do that. I will target the system. Now, Lusaka wanted to know where I was going to target before they gave me the ordnance. I lied to them. I said I was going to sabotage the stock exchange. That's why they released the ordnance to me.
Before you go further, please explain to us what are ordnance and what does it mean?
Ordnance, I mean the ammunition. It may entail AK-47, explosives, etc., etc. That's why we refer to it as ordnance, military ordnance.
Are you given to it based on a mission? And then what then happens after you've executed the mission successfully? Do you return the ordnance, or they remain in your possession?
It depends what type of ordnance was given to you. You can't return explosives.
True.
Because and the AK-47s, you can also return them because you need to protect yourself with them.
Okay.
So they remain with you.
All right.
So the ordnance that was given to me was the explosive and the remote control devices. And then in 1987, after I had done my surveillance, I decided to plant the explosive on the western side of Johannesburg, which is at court. I had studied that area, and I knew what I was going to do won't affect civilians. Because what I intended doing was to plant the limpet mine, that would explode without causing any damage. And once a limpet mine goes off, the police will come and cordon off the area. Once they cordon off the area, it means that civilians won't be there. The people who will be around there will only be the security people or personnel. So this is what exactly I did in the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. So I placed my limpet mine, and then in a vehicle that I had prepared for, that's where I had all the main explosives. So the limpet mine went off earlier, and as I had planned, the police came, cordoned off the area. Then when I realized that now my target was already there, then I let go of remotely the main charge. And what happened is history.
Yeah, a few questions. It was 100 kg.
Yes.
It was drove in with a car. What kind of car was it? Nesa Jampish, or it had explosive, and who was driving it, and how far were you when you were detonating from a remote control?
My preparation for the operation was the previous night. I had one youngster that I trained, who unfortunately is late today. He died. He joined Sandef, and he was a sergeant major. His position was a sergeant major. So I received a stolen vehicle from some of the underground operatives. It is a Golf Volkswagen where I had loaded my explosives, and then my own car that I used. Most unfortunately, I endangered my girlfriend then, because it was the car that was registered in her name. So we followed each other in tandem. I drove in front with a bomb-laden car to the spot. Early in the morning, around about 6:30, on that particular day, on the 20th of May, 1987. And then after choosing the exact spot, I left the car there and drove Comrade Les, that was his code name, Les Mahoti, back home. And then I prepared myself, did my rituals. Then,
wait, is it the Golf that you're living?
Yeah, with all the explosives.
And the explosive was driven by you?
Me.
Yes, and then you hop into your car?
Yes, which was driven by Les Mahoti.
Okay, then you go back to drop him?
To go and drop him, okay. And I went back to the spot.
For the scout?
No, to go because because I had the limpet mine with me then. That was going to trigger everything. That would act as a decoy.
Sure.
So I went back around about 10:10. Then I timed the limpet mine for 30 minutes. It had a timing device. So then about 4 or 5 cars away from the main car, I attached the limpet mine underneath another vehicle. So the street was running from south north. So the main car was on top, and this other one was at the bottom. I knew if this goes off, they will cordon off here, where the main charge is, and around the perimeter. So around about 10, I attached the limpet mine underneath this other vehicle, and then I waited for the time.
Plus minus, how far are you? Line of sight?
There was this Flamingo dry clean on the same street in a little coffee shop. So I whiled my time around there. Bought myself some sweets, whatever, waiting for the limpet mine to go off. And when the limpet one went off, I went the opposite direction because I had left my car
on the other side.
It was at Marshall Street. I parked in Marshall Street. So I went to my car in the Marshall where I had left the remote control, got into the car, slowly drove to have vantage of the area where the police were cordoning off. But what made me, I wanted to wait a little before I could trigger that off. But because, you know, our people, whenever there is a bomb, they always kibo chatarah. So now let me do it before a number of people come in. Yes. Because if I had waited longer, a number of civilians would have been affected. So when I realized that, no, the few cops are already there, it's time for me to do it. Then I let go. Yes. The rest is history. That was in May 1987.
4 cops down.
4 cops down, others injured, and some few civilians injured. Something terrible happened in October of the very same year, 1987. I had gone to Swaziland because I was told to come back. No, it was when I was taking Willie less into exile. So I asked some comrades to drive with Willie to Swaziland on a Friday. Then I told them that I would join them on Sunday, same week. Mm-hmm. When did that incident happen? I think it was before the 22nd, 23rd of October 1987. So I went down to Swaziland on Sunday to go and arrange and make preparation for Les to go into Mozambique. Then I came back into the country on Thursday evening. By then, me and my girlfriend then had a flat. She was working as a nurse. And then she had accommodation on the flat they called Dudley Heights. Kamobela Constitutional Hill.
I know Dudley Heights very well. It's next to the oncology clinic.
Yes.
There by Bramfontein.
We used to stay there on the 3rd floor. So normally, she had a BMW that I was already using. And that other car,
that car of the operation.
Yeah. Now, because I had arrived on Thursday, she was working at Florence
Nightingale.
Yeah. Now, it was just a few steps away. Now, when I was not there, she used to drive herself to work. That's my impression. But because I was there on Thursday, when she went to work, she didn't take the vehicle with her. She left it for me. Normally, when she left to work, it was about 6:30 in the morning. Normally, before she leave for work, she would prepare breakfast for me, and then I would eat, and then drive her to work, and then go on my rendezvous. That particular day, when she related the story afterwards, she says to me, "You know what, Papa, that day, I didn't want to wake you up because you were so fast asleep. So I let you be and went out." I didn't hear her leave, but as soon as she closed the door, I could hear the slamming of the door. Seconds later, there was a loud knock. She's got the key. I've got the keys. The lady that cleans the flat has got the master key. Who could that be? And nobody knows I'm here. But the knock was not a gentle knock. I didn't answer. The knock again, it became persistent. So, you know, at the door, there's this little spyglass. So I tiptoed through to go and see what was happening. I saw 2 guys, 2 males, 1 white and 1 black. It was clear.
Obvious. It was obvious.
Now, obvious. It was obvious something terrible is going to happen. So I procrastinated. Should I open the door? Should I jump through the window? Normally when I slept in the flat, I usually had my rope because I knew it was a 3rd floor. And I would escape. But that day, because I came back on Thursday, I procrastinated. I did not fetch the rope to sleep with me. So I regretted why I didn't take the rope. But something said to me, "Joe, no, open up." I opened the door. The white man, instead of waiting for me to say anything, he gave me the lead. Said, "Hey, are you Joseph Koetle?" I said, "No, I'm not Joseph Koetle." "Joseph, yes. But I'm Joseph Dlamini. I had a passport that says Joseph Dlamini. I was prepared to produce it. I said, no, I'm not Joseph Koetle. I'm Joseph Dlamini. So this poor guy was adamant that, no, you are Joseph. I said, I'm not. He said, what do you want here? I said, no, I met this lady last night at the disco. So and then she invited me into a flat.
Yes.
So my place is in Rockville. Said, are you? Yeah, are you? I was married before. This is my second wife.
Yes.
Are you married? I said, yeah, I was married. Yes, I divorced. Then this white man gave me a lead again.
Yes.
With who? I gave another name.
Yes.
Tandingobo. I said, but you keep on asking me a lot of questions. I told you I'm not Joseph Koetle. My ID book is not here. It's at my place in Rockville. Why don't we go there in Rockville and get my ID book? So that to show you that I'm not Joseph Koetle, I'm Joseph Dlamini. They said, okay, it's fine. So the black guy was adamant that he wanted to cuff me.
Our people.
Mashiane wanted, there would have been a mess in that flat. So I don't know, was it my stare or my look that threatened them that he decided to retrieve.
Yes. So
the white man was just willing that I can go as I am, yes, without any cuffs. So I said, no, Rockville 2772. We drove to Soweto. I was just waiting that they shouldn't take me to Proti. Yes. Because Proti, certain cops knew me.
Yes.
And these two didn't know me.
Yes.
So fortunately, they fell into my trap.
Yes.
We went to Rockville. And I was praying that when we reached Rockville, because I had left the keys, yes, I usually carry a bunch of my keys on my belt here. Yeah. And the flat keys, when we left, the boy wanted me to take them. I said, no, I told you I met this lady last night. She said, when I leave, I must just leave the keys. She's got another key. That was another a plus on my side. Yeah. Because had I taken the key, yes, it means I'm a resident. Yes. It was me, the person they were looking for. So I had left the keys, and the Rockville keys were also there. So just I was praying that I would find the door still open. Fortunately, when I got there, people were still in the house. And the door was open. And the white man followed me from behind. The darkie went the other side to go and block the second door. Yeah. Well, he's a terrorist or he's a guerrilla. We always find our DLBs in the house where it is convenient for me to retrieve any ordinance at any time.
What are DLBs?
Dead letter box.
What does it mean?
No, it's where we hide things.
Something that will come in handy.
Yeah, no, if we send ordinance to you, we don't send them direct to you. Somebody, because there are different groups in a guerrilla movement. So there'll be those who deliver ordinance, and they'll go and hide them in a particular DLB, and then they'll draw a sketch for you. Say maybe they'll draw it about 5 steps from that door, maybe 2 steps from the wall, just like that. I'm just giving you a little, yeah. So on the DLB, on the map, on the sketch, it will tell me that when you go to Mashiane's door, the front door, you count 5 steps to the front, 5 steps to the left, and then start digging. You'll find the ordinance there. That's how the DLBs worked. Yes. So fortunately, when I entered the front door in Rockville, for me to be able to retrieve my ordnance or my ammunition was about 2 seconds. But you, with a naked eye, wouldn't see it. You won't find it. But I knew when I tricked them that they must take me to Rockville for me to show them my ID book. I knew that it was their demise. So the minute I went into the door, I slammed the door behind the white man. And at the very same time, I was able to retrieve my pistol.
Ready for action.
The lady of the house screamed and went out through the back door. The black policeman stopped her and came back with her, holding her hostage. I had already slammed the door behind, so the white man couldn't come in. I think it happened so fast.
Yes.
Because I don't think the white man was able to react, the white policeman.
Yes.
Because after slamming a door, that policeman, the black policeman, was already here. And then he was unalived. I pounced on him again. He used him as a shield. I already destabilized him.
Yes.
Went out through the back door looking for the white man. He was nowhere to be found. I pushed him, did the final unaliving, and then off I went. It was on a Friday. You want to count?
Sorry, let me fix that for you.
Yeah. I want to cut 28 from Wednesday, the previous week to Friday. It's how many days? It's how many?
28
was Wednesday the following week. 27 Tuesday, 26 Monday, 25 Sunday, 24, 23rd. It was Friday the 23rd of October 1987 when this incident happened. So I left, sought a phone somewhere from one contact to phone my girlfriend then to tell her to rush quickly to the flat and remove certain things that I brought along from Swaziland. Without any hesitating, she went and retrieved those things. Now she's telling me afterwards that as soon as she went back to work, the office was full. The matron called someone there to the office and she found Pose waiting for her there. Well, she's one person who can tell the story.
Yeah.
So I hid myself from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday evening when I thought that everything was clear. I hijacked one car with some of my comrades that would assist me to go back to Swaziland. Then
I want you to hold it there. And I think it's important for our audience. The 4 that you blew with a detonator.
With a bomb.
Not the limpet decoy. Yeah. With an actual bomb, the 100 kg.
Yes.
Give us their race.
Those who died, it's the 4 that died are white.
Okay.
And I know of one black guy who's injured. Yes. His a cop is Kutwane. Most unfortunately, he's my homemate. We come from Matatiel together. He hates me like nobody's business. I didn't target him.
Yes, as kids.
Yeah.
The importance of that is for people to not misconstrue that you deliberately went for the African dude who was in front, who was already in the room to choose as a target, and you neglected the white one who ran away. But it's fine. I just wanted that to be clear for the audience.
Okay, no, let's explain that.
Okay.
In our politics that we're taught, the struggle had no color. Because amongst us, even in the locations, there were no white men. But the white already knew what blacks were doing. So it means that there were people within our midst who were on the sides of the white. So how can we be selective? Like the bomb again. It's most unfortunate that the whites were there in the majority. But there is a black guy, Kutwane, who also got injured. Most unfortunately, he survived. In Rockville, the white man ran away. This one came because he was playing La Bravura. So
down.
Yeah, so there was no alternative. So here's again, another black guy went down when I escaped to Swaziland. You'll hear this one. So I left for Swaziland on Tuesday evening. I arrived on the early morning of Wednesday, the 28th of October, 1987. I had my contacts at an area they call Ichejuba in Pongola. That's where I crossed into Swaziland. So I had a guy who usually used to help us, infiltrate the comrades into the country. So I waited for him. The youngster that drove me to Swaziland, I told him to get into Nhlangano and wait for me inside Nhlangano with the very same car. Then, because he had valid passport, so I went through the fence. At about 6:30, because this guy is a Matsenjwa guy, and Nhlagamandla guy, he said to me, the bus leaves at about 7, so we need to rush so that I can be able to reach Nhlangano quickly. So when we were already inside Swaziland, we had already jumped the border. Then I heard a voice calling from behind. When I looked, there were South African soldiers. Another one indicated to us that we need to stop. But because this guy...
What are you driving in?
No, we're walking now.
Yeah.
Because I said the guy with the car went in through Nhlangano. I just jumped through. So here we were walking on foot because we're going to catch a bus that would take me to Nhlangano. So I said to this Nhlagamandla guy, but we're already in Swaziland. Why is he calling us? He said, I don't know. I said, no, he's mad. Then there was a shot fired. From the soldiers, South African soldiers.
First.
Yeah, fired. Said, hey, you know what, Nhlagamandla, they are fighting. So what's going to happen? Here's some money. Because whenever they cross into Swaziland illegally, they are charged a spot fine of about 30 rands.
Them?
Yeah, the people who say the Nhlagamandla.
Okay.
Yeah, people who live next to the border fence always cross into South Africa. Yes. South Africa. Yeah. So if they are caught, there's this spot fine.
Yeah.
So I give him the money so that if they catch him, he'll be able to pay.
Gone free. Yeah.
Yeah, to pay for himself because he's a South African guy.
Mm-hmm.
I give him the money and I told him to pretend as if he couldn't run, so that he would be the first victim.
Yes.
And then give me the chance to run away.
Tactical.
I didn't help. I think the net was already out for me.
Yeah.
Another shot came. I ran doing the zigzags as part of the training.
Yes.
I did my zigzag not to give those guys a perfect shot.
Yes.
Yeah, a perfect shot. Zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. I was on a plateau. So I thought that there's an embankment somewhere in the end. So that I was going to jump there and lie down. I had a pistol with me, still had, and just fire one shot to indicate to these soldiers that I'm armed.
Yeah.
But it was too late. Before I could reach that place, they already had me.
Where?
On the buttock. I think if we can look at the paper cuttings of that, that's why I'm giving you those dates.
Yeah.
In Swaziland, or even in South Africa, it came out on the 29th of October 1987.
Yeah.
You go to the archives. Yeah, newspapers, you'll find the story there. So he shot me on the buttock. I couldn't run anymore. So the left buttock. You can even see today, I'm still crippled.
Yeah.
So eventually I was arrested by the Swazi soldiers.
Yes.
And then taken to Nhlangano, Hlatikulu, eventually to Mbabane Hospital, where I had to receive treatment for the wound. And then again, I had to face trial. Because when the soldier followed me, I did a Rambo on him. So he had to leave quickly.
Explain. I want you to. I don't want my audience to read between the lines.
No. That one soldier, the others remained behind, and one soldier pursued me after they realized that they had shot me. Little did they know that I was still armed. Because they known that I was armed, I don't think that he would have ventured.
Yes. So,
yeah. So he came to me close. I think he was about 30 meters away from me. When he said to me, "Hey, Suguma Sambe," I lay on my stomach, on top of my pistol.
Yes.
I said, we were trained to deceive.
Yes.
So, what he did, the mistake that he made, I remember, that's it. So you've already get shot dead.
Yes.
No, he had this rifle elevated, And when I said, no, he lowered the barrel and turned his head. So that's a fatal mistake he made. So you hear the fatal mistake he made. I head on him, he retaliated, I rolled.
Yes.
So that he couldn't get a perfect target on me. But I could see that I aimed specifically for the chest.
You winded him?
No, it was the end. I knew even when he shot that it was his last gasp.
Yeah.
After some time, after some short burst he made, he just dropped the gun and he fell down, and that was the end. And then eventually I was arrested by the Swazi because that skirmish, that noise, that fighting attracted people. So the Swazi, because they are all South African soldiers patrolling the other side, Swazis this side. So the Swazis, wherever they may have been, but when they had the gunshot, they came to my side and they found me, and then I was arrested. Because I was injured, firstly they took me to Nhlangano police station to register whatever they registered. Then later removed me to Hlatikulu because there were rumors that the Boers were on their way to come and abduct me. At Hlatikulu, they removed me there at about 12 midnight to Mbabane Hospital, a security cell, which is the safest cell I've ever encountered. So I was happy to be there. So it was in October. So they couldn't operate me immediately because I had lost a lot of blood. So they had to wait until I had stabilized. But I was already charged with murder because that soldier died inside Swaziland. So the operation was done, and then my trial commenced the following year, 1988, in March. I was detained at the Stwashini police cells in Swaziland. And then in May, I was acquitted based on self-defense by Justice Hani. And then I went back to Lusaka. I was deported back to Lusaka.
And why is that? Is it because the South African government never got hold of you? Because when the Boers came running, you were quickly
removed. Because when the Swazi arrested me, first they wanted me to identify myself. Then I told them who I was, and I was an MK soldier. So because of the Geneva Protocol and Agreement, they couldn't allow the boss to take me.
Just want to, so when you revealed your identity, was it your true identity?
No, no true identity, but that I'm a member of a liberation movement.
Or then,
yeah.
So if they had handed you over to the Boers, they would have participated in giving some sort of...
Yeah, the United Nations wouldn't have been happy with it. Yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of furore.
Okay, no, I understand.
So because there was that Geneva Protocol agreement. Because any soldier, MK soldier, if the Swazis don't want me in their country, they must take me back to Lusaka. Not to the Boers. But if I was a Tutsi, the Geneva Protocol does not cover you. Yeah, does not cover you. So then I went back to Lusaka.
The soldier who went down, just confirm, was it a Swati or South African?
No, South African, SADF then.
Okay.
Because he pursued why I won the case. The judge said that soldier had no right to pursue me into Swaziland.
Good.
And I had to shoot because I had to defend myself. He had already shot me. If it was a Swazi soldier,
a different matter.
It's a different matter. I would have been sentenced. But both of us were illegal in Swaziland. He was illegal because he crossed illegally. But I was a freedom fighter. And I had to defend myself. So that's why I was acquitted. So went back to Lusaka. And I stayed with the so-called Chief of Staff, Hani.
In Lusaka?
Yes. I stayed at his rest before I went to Cuba. Then when I came back from Cuba again, I stayed at his rest. I know a lot of people valued Chris Hani,
including myself,
and loved him.
Yes.
I'm going to pose questions that those who find answers must be fair and be objective. In Exile, we had a department we refer to as DIP, Department of International Publication, which was headed by Thabo Mbeki and Tate Makatini.
Yes.
Under its wings, it had Radio Freedom, which was headed by Potgoni, whom we call as Tamin Tindeni, pseudonym Potgoni. Any information, any messages that needed to be disseminated were done through this department, the DIP. But sometimes in 1988, we found a broadcast where an individual was telling comrades to get into the country, go kill everything. A child, a woman, ngizayibiza njengoba bayibiza the comrade, but uthethile uchief of staff singenwa kanja kwakati kwamfazi kwamntwana bulala. Now, who authorized this podcast?
Hold it there. Who, this chief of staff, I want us to go back again. Who is the chief of staff? Who is the chief of staff saying it, or the chief of staff?
The chief of giving that directive
is the chief of staff?
Yes.
Verbally on radio?
On TV.
Oh.
On TV.
And who's the name of the chief of staff?
No, I said you'll find the answer.
Please don't do
No, I'm still there. I'm still there, Mashiane. I'm still there. Now, we were trained politically and militarily. And we knew, first thing in our struggle, that we don't target civilians because we are not a terrorist organization. Terrorists would do that. But we did everything in our power not to target civilians. But now, if a senior person goes on a broadcast and give a directive that when the cadres get into the country, they must do these atrocities, on whose behalf is he doing it? Is it for the ANC, for MK, or for who? Because after that speech, all the Nordic countries chased our diplomats, so-called chief reps away, because we were now being referred to as a terrorist organization because of this directive given by this chief of staff. He was previously a commissar, and a commissar has got to do with political education. Now, a former commissar, who now is the chief of staff, gives a directive like that one, which organization was he destroying?
The African National Congress via MK. And which year is this?
1988.
1988. Around what time? Which month, if you think?
August, September. Around the August, September. It's, if you can check, around about September.
And who's the name of the chief of staff, this former commissar?
We had the chief of staff. We had, in the military, Joe Mudise is a commander. We had Steve Chwete.
Let me, okay. Joe Mudise was the commander of MK.
Yes. At that time. Steve Chwete was the commissar.
Steve Chwete
was the commissar.
komisa, ne?
Chris Hani was the chief of staff.
Okay.
So when a chief of staff gives such a directive, and he's not supposed to be giving statements because that's a department that belongs to Mr. Mkatini and Tabombeki, to be issuing broadcasts. That's why we refer to it as DIP.
Mm-hmm.
Now he is the chief of staff. Who invited that broadcasting station or that TV station, we don't know. We had to extinguish fires because the youth were adamant, the young comrades were adamant that my commander, China, you know, when you don't say China in exile, if we want to take you to the front, we say China. China, chief of staff uthethile. Things got bad for us in the European countries because we are now referred to as a terrorist organization. Now one wonders, why, one asks himself, why did Chris Hani issue such a statement? Who benefited from the statement that he made? That's why you guys and the children and our children's children will find the answers one day as to who Chris Hani was. But where's it still coming? I'm going to pose questions.
Okay.
One member of my unit, when I came back from Cuba, Ntate Mtsabi was a member of an NEC, of the NEC. Ntate Mtsabi was there in exile and his wife. Now, this lady, her name is Dipuo. She was married to a Matibe. And she had 2 children in exile. Then, Mjalefa and Lebo.
Yes.
This Dipuo lady was our courier, much as she was a member of my unit. She was our courier in Soweto. Adula Kotladi, house number 3.
What is a
Courier.
Courier.
Courier, yeah. She stayed at house number 3, Kotladi. Of which she was not only my courier and Mshoshovi, the Shabalala guy, who died mysteriously in 1987. Mshoshovi went to Dipuo and left a message. And when he got out of the house, he was bumped by a car and he died. A highly trained guerrilla. To be bumped by a car and die that easily. 2 ladies saw the incident and they went to house number 2 because they wanted to get phone or phone the ambulance. They tried to phone the ambulance, they couldn't get the ambulance. It's the same streets. Sisitsongo Jabalani Mall, Jabalani Police Station. The ambulance was just here, I would say 3 kilometers away. They couldn't get the ambulance. When these ladies and the lady next door, her name was Susan, went out back to Pusena, Susan identified Mshoshovi. Mshoshovi was his pseudonym.
Yeah.
Seneme Haiki Shabala, not a good take proof original.
Yeah.
She said, no, but I would do not close one come on next door. Code number 3. If that accident was so impactful, I mean, even the lady in number 3 never would have had the impact. So that's why we are questioning it. Was it a car accident or was it a silence gun? So they called the lady house number 3. The poor saw Mshoshovi and then they went back into the house to phone the ambulance. No response. Whilst an ambulance arrived. Now the funniest thing I went into the ambulance, those emergency guys never spoke to anyone or Kima relative who knows this man, blah, 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 blah. They just took Mshoshovi's corpse, jumped it into the van and went off. The ladies went their way, the poor went back into her house. Now, I'm relating this story because when the poor came into exile, she had to relate that story to us. I was her commander. This is what she's dictating. Mm-hmm. The very same evening, the poor receives a knock in the house. When she opened the door, one lady gets into a house with some youngsters, heavily armed. Now the poor says to us, Lebo Krisani, this lady, the question Adi Butsang, it's not the question Sahore, who did this? It's the question of who saw this. Now the poor says, I did not see anything. The lady next door came to me, Susan, with other ladies, Barem Babone. Then this lady wanted to know further.
Probing further.
Probe further, Modipo. Or, by the way, who are you? Dipo said to this lady, instead of saying, I am Dipo Matibe, she said, King Wananda Msabi. She said, I'm Dipo Msabi. She says to us, this lady shrank. Are you Obed Mutsabi's daughter? Dipo said, yes. She told us that this lady got a bit deflated. She said, it's okay, we'll come back. This lady left. The following day,
this lady and the entourage, and the cops or civilians?
Underline it. This lady and the youngsters with AK-47s.
Yes.
So cops don't carry AK-47s.
Yeah, but I just want to check.
No, we are there. We are still there. We are still there.
Yes.
The following day, there was a gun burst next door. House number 2.
At May
Susan.
The one who saw everything.
Who she didn't see. She was contacted by these 2 ladies who were
said she was told by Susan.
Yes. The boy said Susan next door came with other ladies and told me that now this lady wanted to know what's the relationship with Mshoshovi and who is she? Then she said, I am the Dipo Mutsabi. Then this lady deflated and left. The following day, there was a gunshot next door. House number 2, Tladi. If people want to go there and verify that, Susan was killed by AK-47s. The poor did not wait. She came into exile. Apipilele Seya. She left her marriage, her husband, because she said to herself, if this AK-47 Shapidegamo itamon, Chipo left for exile. She divulged this story to us. Now, while she's saying this, she's asked to write. She was together with another youngster, Kitami Umozola, who was also trained by Mshoshovi. They know their story. On their biography, they implicated this lady. Chris Hani refused to accept that statement. That lady, Winnie Mandela. Chris refused to accept their side of story because they were implicated. Tipo says, how can I leave my house? I was not being hunted by the police. I ran away because Susan was killed. And I know the people that killed Susan were the people that were accompanying Winnie Mandela. So I did not wait for the gun to come to me. I don't know whether after killing Susan, were they coming for me or not. I did not wait for that. So I bolted. This is the story that she's telling us in Exile. Where Chris Hani is refusing, Kiena Letami refusing to accept their story. Now they are implicating one comrade, pseudonym Percy, who implicated Tami. Because Tabi was part and parcel of Mandela Football Club also. Ki Percy obolaileng Mshoshovi. Ka silence gun.
That's why no one had a car bumping something.
Yes, that's why I'm just giving you the next to more fencing I had some gating. Nobody heard anything. And if you can go and do it, especially in local Mutselenyo, so Korea you tula move and you die. Or else it will tula you tula defense. If you motarotung, everybody would have seen because Klaus Shaba you is Odim. Who move fast. Those ladies, because they are not trained, Baboni Kole Fala Itula Moto. And somebody on the side, Mushapilega silence, he died. Now, who called the ambulance? Because nobody, they did not, they did not
get through to the...
Yeah, but and then those ambulance people did not communicate with anyone more.
They picked it up and left. They picked up the cops and left.
Now, to compound matter, recently, some years ago, when the so-called unknown the graves were being uncovered, who uncovered Gravia Mayor Mshoshovi go Kempton Park?
I don't know, tell me.
Mshoshovi, his family got proof, Kuwa Shabalala. It's Winnie Mandela who pointed out the grave. How did she know that Mshoshovi is there?
So, let me get this straight. Winnie Mandela,
yes,
at night comes with
some youngsters.
Yeah, the football team entourage. They interrogate Dipuo, and Dipuo unknowingly links Susan. And then when they leave after hearing that Dipuo Kingwana wanted Mutabi, they collapse.
Yes.
Yeah, but felt like a matter. But then when they come back, they take out
Susan.
And you are linking this to be Winnie Mandela because years later, she was able to point out Mushengu's
Shabalala, Mshoshovi's,
yes.
Who told her? Because and she's telling lies or Ushuche somewhere, Ushuche Mumletane, Mutadi, Mumletane. But now, how was she able to identify? Because Mshoshovi we can only identify graves that we were responsible for and of our families. Now, how was Winnie able to identify Mshoshovi's grave? I want to know how to repatriate to be given proper burial. How did she know that it is Mshoshovi who's lying there?
So, I do know when they were doing such, amongst other things, were DNA analysis to just so they could correctly be given mortal remains and stuff. Do you know if this was done? I'm trying to test the accuracy of...
There was no DNA. Even if there was a DNA, Mshoshovi's family are the one who was supposed to identify the grave.
Okay.
It's there in the news. If you go back into and check Mfuwa Shabalala or how was it Fiko Kempton Park Cemetery, I think it will help you in your job.
Yeah.
How was he? Who identified Mshoshovi? Nobody questioned it. Mo TV. Because people are frightened. Mshoshovi died Gomlezane. We implicated Percy. Percy later on was retrieved, told to go back in to Lusaka. And when he arrived in Lusaka, was taken back to Angola by Mkwala Kokadru. Hear this one. Percy was locked up. It was before I left for Botswana from Lusaka, 1999. Kofifi, the chief of staff for Angola, because my residence is because Kileka Kroako Krisane, Gauloko Challenge. So a lot of commanders, they used to congregate at my place. So Kofifi, a former chief of staff, a provincial, Angola, came to me. Kemuzar, you are here for some days. What's happening? Kofifi says to me, I've been grounded. Why grounded? Who grounded you? Chief of staff grounded me.
That's crucial.
Yes. On what basis? Chief of staff comes to me, he tells me to release Pesi. I refuse because Pesi will a comrade. How can you say I must release him? Chris Hani said to Kofi, you are insubordinate, you are grounded. He was removed from Angola. Fortunately, at that time when there were preparation meet for Uganda. So because Chris Hani couldn't account to Oliver Tambo, so it disguised it as if Kofi will go and open up other camps, go Uganda. But Chris Hani gave the directive or Pesi a release a comrade who had killed a comrade. And Bamswara saw Pesi because of statements. Serhati letsadi puo le Pesi le Tami.
But I've not understood how was Pesi linked, because no one saw the actual
Tami was part and parcel of Mandela Football Club. Everything was hashed.
Oh, no, I understand.
Yes.
He knew, but he was not on site as a eyewitness.
When the plans were hashed. But Tami is still there if he's still alive. Because I'll tell you.
So Tami Pesi, their real names?
Tami, I don't know if they're still calling Pesi. It's a pseudonym, but it's known. It's in the book.
By the way, Tami is the one who ran away with Dipu, and you received them in exile to baby.
Yes.
And so he told you this Mandela football stories.
Yeah, all the biographies. That's where they were implicating Pesi and Winnie Mandela. Where Chris Hani was adamant that they cannot implicate Winnie.
Please, try to speak to on the mic.
Pesi, Tami and Dipu Matibe implicated Winnie Mandela in their biographies.
And then Chris Hani refused to
accept that. Dipu had to be detained, Mo Charleston, for a long time, until Datem Sabia Mulate.
Where was he detained?
Lusaka.
Yes.
There's a place more in Rabat Bafitla thing. Charleston, I hope all about that transit camp.
Yes.
She stayed there for more than 3 months until Tatem Sabia Mulate, her father. Or if you suspect my child for being a double agent, then I'm also a double agent. If you want to further interrogate her, you'll interrogate her from my place. Then Tabi went to Angola to go and train. But when we asked Tami, Mauyo Angola for Nwenzane, he said, for no train so that ngizobulala uPhesi. He didn't know because he was not politically educated. The way Alim Peter, uPhesi ubulali commander yam.
Ish.
Could Tami why if he had met with Pesi that time, he would have killed Pesi.
After all these years, why do you think Shabalala was targeted?
He had seen a lot.
A lot of what?
Go Winnie Mandela. You ended up there. He had seen a lot more Winnie Mandela.
Was he working with the football club? Remember, the football club was just
we all. Then after the Boers attacked me, that Friday after Kibatunze,
yes,
I nearly went to Winnie Mandela's house to seek refuge, so that until Koronobale, because I had nowhere to sleep.
Yes,
I ended up sleeping more 5 Roses on Fulo Park.
Yeah,
for those couple of days. But something told me, Joe, don't go there.
You think that saved your life?
It saved my life. It saved me. That's why I'm alive today. Liko Swaziland, if I was not shot, Mashiane.
Those guys captured you?
No, if I was not captured, if I managed to elude them and get safely into Swaziland, Joe wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have married this woman. I would be dead.
While you are still on this matter, I've spoken to former freedom fighters. One of the things that I've heard is because of the high success rate of interception, whether you came through Swaziland or Mozambique, or they would even intercept you when you are in Botswana, is because when you are given a script, I don't know how you call it when you are given the script, say yes from whether it's your commander or commissar, but don't do. If they say wear a red shirt and a what, don't do it. I remember I spoke to Ntateja Sop. He related something similar to this. And you spoke about pseudonyms. If your battle name is given in Angola, don't use it entering South Africa because something could have been intercepted. And we know that a lot of freedom fighters took out each other with these suspicions. And even someone hated you, they could plant evidence to associate you with being a double agent. The trust deficit was so low that even people outed closer enemies by calling them a spy. How safe was it?
All those who were positive.
What do you mean by positive?
All those who were double agents within our movement, and you came as Mashiane, and you are clear, you are a real militant, a real altruist, you want to fight, they will find ways of black painting you and label you a double agent.
So you believe okay.
We were so highly infiltrated that the system, with their cohort inside the ANC, wanted to discourage any positive-minded cadre who wanted to go and fight. You become so disillusioned until at the end of the year you end up going to school. Or Odulako, Tanzania.
So these China opportunities to go and take up arms and fight back, they say the reason it was delayed is because this is what others tell us. It was the commanders and the commissars and the people actually did not want to fight because they enjoyed the struggle. They enjoyed living large in exile. How true is it?
It's answered in many ways.
Okay.
Those about from China are the commanders who are in front. Borona. I need people as a unit.
Yes.
I would give a directive. Or by 5 or by 6, whatever bears. There in Angola, Angola was rotten, Mashiane. Vienna, it's where all our records were kept. It's rotten. That is why initially when George Lady Khang said to me, we won't take you into exile to and train in Angola. We will have all the means here in Swaziland. We'll train you. Because once you go there, your cover is broken. It's blown out. When you come back into the country. There's an incident where during the day, Mabura fikile muntu nyewe. Bafita babuzwa kama mambadula bacheka what they did and audit. Kanti mansiba onale youngsters who were being infiltrated. Za MK Hotamo. And when they go there, it was the end carbon. Kurmaburu, the system wanted to ensure they are not going to kill innocent people. How do they know? Now it goes back to what my commander said, George de Kock. You go there, you are a dead man. How do you explain this? The first commander, Angola, Angola, was already fluent in Spanish and Portuguese after 1976. Where did he learn Spanish and Portuguese?
Huh?
Because going into exile was spontaneous after the riots June 16.
Mm.
And now when you get there, somebody who helped a number of comrades to be able to settle Angola was fluent in Spanish and Portuguese.
Huh. So let me take you back. 1987,
the
bomb. You take out 4 people, cops, white cops. The person who issued that instruction, General Siphiwe Nyanda.
Yes, he helped me get the ordinance.
Yes, but did he?
The planning I planned alone.
Yeah, the instruction to do so, to authorize the mission, General Siphiwe Nyanda.
He did not. I won't say authorize.
Because he's linked to it.
Yes, because he was my now immediate commander.
Okay.
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 But and then General Nyanda was removed. Kasalale Solishoke. The former general. They solely knew that I was going to stage a bomb. But where? He didn't know.
Okay.
I couldn't tell them. Because of past experience. Bopani, when they went to Sukunda, it was already known that they are going to Skunda. Some people were waiting for them.
Mm.
Mahlangu, when they came to Johannesburg, somebody is waiting for them. Silverton, when the guys were going, they were not going into the bank. They were going somewhere. But on the way, they realized that we are being followed here. So the best refuge, that's it.
By the way, so if you do not know the Sekunda operation, if you do not know Solomon Mahlangu, you most probably going to know. If you don't know what happened in Silverton, just go and check. These operations are they are successful operations that the MK Umkhonto have done.
It was not successful. It was a deviation. They were not going into Silverton, Mashiane.
No, I'm talking about besides these 3 ones that we mentioned.
Silverton.
Yes.
The plan was not to go into Silverton, to go and say release Mandela. The plan was somewhere. But on the way, Babonor, who's on the defied way.
But
hurricane
change.
That's it. But
so going back to Siphiwe Nyanda, I spoke with Comrade Fred, Uncle Fred. He didn't speak kindly of General Siphiwe Nyanda, and he mentioned a lot of people that he feels they were not pro-us. What is your experience with Joe Mudise, Siphiwe Nyanda, Chris Hani as a collective?
I told you, Chris Hani, when we were attacked Mamasela in 1982, Chris Hani removed his family and placed it somewhere. Did you ever question it?
So he preempted the attack and...
You can't preempt. You know. Why all of a sudden, but this time when Mabura told Rasela, you remove your family here, what did you know? Even the JJ Tabani ranted about it one time on broadcast.
Yes.
Why? A person who survived Abdua Tokyo, Neremisa Matabat, was blamed for surviving. Angala Yutu is Germany. A very good commander. What?
Is Swale still alive?
Yeah, Tokyo is still alive.
No, the brother.
The brother is still alive. We 2 days ago, he wants nothing to hear. Can you see?
Ish. So he survived that attack in...
Yeah, he survived because he fought.
Yes.
So when they came to his rest, he had, if it's not your day, it's not your day. So, but he gets blamed for surviving. But Chris Hani never got asked, why did you remove your family?
Matola raids? Yes. What happened there?
We are being sold. We've got people who are RPMCs, paramilitary councils.
RPMCs.
Some of them, Bosnuki Zigalal, Boma Pepa, never beat Swaziland. You name quite a few. These people were never attacked, Kamkimaburu, and everybody knew their whereabouts, but at no point were they ever attacked.
There's an incident of Cyril Ramaphosa being arrested, Comrade Terror. Well, here's the...
No, it will
Okay, so people are saying, and because I'm speaking about
Ramaphosa, since you, let me introduce something.
Okay, sharp. Let me read this one.
Yeah.
You can speak.
You remember all of us, Exile, the ANC, through CODESA discussions, it was decided that the TRC must be formed. So that all of us must go there and atone and show remorse.
Others didn't.
They classified some of our actions, like the action that I did, as a gray area.
Why?
That's why I'm asking. And yet, those who killed us in Matola, in Maseru, in Kgodiswane, never applied for amnesty.
And hold it, the reason you call it gray area is because it's one level. They wanted to say, is it crime or is it warfare?
Because I killed. They say gray area because you killed. They didn't check whether you killed the system or innocent people. They classified us along the line sub-parent stradom. Parent stradom killed our people, civilians were innocent.
Yeah.
I killed the policemen who were enforcing apartheid laws on us, who were working within the system. Now the people who were negotiating compromised a lot. In that when people received blanket amnesty, I never received that. I had to go through the court processes until eventually I got my amnesty in November 1994.
Hold it there. I just want to check something here. So it says application in terms of Section 18 of the Promotion of National Unity and Recognition Act, number 34 of 1995. Joseph Koetle, the applicant number 75, blah, 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 the decision. And then it lists 5, and amongst others, the assassination, well, not assassination, is you taking down, let me find the name of the cop. Makhalemele. It's one of the things that were listed there. Sabotage of the railway line between Mzimhlope and Pumuleng Station in 1987. In short, explain this one as we go on, because it also involves 158 limpet mine that you gave Lijo. Just explain this.
No, we wanted, it was during the boycott.
Yes.
So we wanted to derail the train or scare Maya.
Yes.
So that people were not able to go to work.
You were cutting logistics.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So it's most unfortunate that the timing that we set took long, because we wanted to go off between 12 and 1 so that there would be no trains. So it went off Mutiara.
Okay. They said that the explosion costed 2,000. It was a lot of money by then.
2,000. I don't know.
Okay. Number 2 is, you already explained this, the murder of Constable Makhalemele in Rockville, Soweto, October 1987. This one you explained. The robbery of a motor vehicle in house number 277 Rockville, Soweto. They wrote it as Midville, Soweto, but explain it.
Yeah, like I expect escape
Okay.
Is
it after the Mahalimele incident when you were leaving?
Yes, on the Tuesday when I left for Swaziland.
And then escaping from Moroka police station in August 87 and November 93. On both occasions, the force was used. And at the first instance, he has been arrested for possession of a stolen vehicle which had been used in an MK operation in 1990 due to the delay in the process of MK application for indemnity in terms of the former Indemnity Act of 1990. The applicant and other MK cadres panicked and escaped from prison. What is this? This is how it's written.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It is because you had this. It is like you tablet.
No,
let me go all over. No, I was detained.
Yes.
Coming back from exile.
Okay.
July 1990. So I had to face. This murder thing, whatever.
Okay, let me understand. So, when some of you returned, you headed to Patal limits meeting, but when you came back. So this is when you came back in 1990. It's when a lot of exilees came.
We're coming back.
And then you were detained for.
Yes, that's why. Now I said when they were negotiating, they classified some of our actions as gray area. Oh. That is why one couldn't get blanket amnesty. Oh. I had to face. And it is something that I'm still questioning. Because up till today, we don't know who killed politically Cassius Maki in Swaziland. We don't know. We don't know who bombed Maseru. Because the system applied for blanket, they took culpability and applied for blanket amnesty for everybody. But the ANC failed to do that on our behalf. Yes.
They allowed the system to pinpoint you in individuals.
And who were in the forefront of negotiations? Matthew Posa, Penuel Maduna, Cyril, Zuma, and the rest.
Unlawful possession, this is the fifth one. Unlawful possession of a 9mm pistol and 158 limpet mines at Soweto.
No, again, that they always charge you by the splitter.
Oh.
You kill somebody with a gun.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and then this one by group le limpet mine 158 kila roba sporo ne.
Yes.
All right, sharp. And then the dependents of Mahalimele are hereby referred as the Rehabilitation Reparation Committee to be declared victims of this act, signed at Cape Town on this day of 2000. So this is just a blank one. It has Judge Mutata, Judge S. Miller, and Advocate N. Sandy. Are you aware of this?
No, I'm not aware of them.
Okay, let's go back to two former presidents whose fathers were apartheid era police, Cyril Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma. Their fathers were apartheid police. And some amongst people who went to exile, they say the struggle was against this system. And this system, when we say Dubulipun, we associated everything with the cops. Everyone who worked for the system were identified as such. Did you find it strange or suspicious that both Cyril Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma fathers were apartheid police?
I had to move further to confirm that and satisfy myself by this. We were all compelled to appear before the TRC to show remorse. But there's one askari who did not appear before the TRC because he was interdicted by 4 individuals, 2 of whom you've just named.
Please explain in full so we don't have a blank page.
Yeah, no, I'm coming there. I'm saying 2 of whom you have already named. Now my question is, why did these 4 individuals, I'll come to their names, interdict Mamasela? Because the people to whom Mamasela has injured or has hurt haven't found closure because Mamasela hasn't told them what drove him to doing that, because he was prevented from going to the TRC.
Doesn't he say he was afraid of Eugene de Kock?
Mamasela was not afraid. Eugene de Kock was already, he testified against Eugene de Kock, Mamasela. He testified against all the Vlakplaas policemen. But when it was his turn to go, Mamasela highlighted something. Mamasela said, it's on paper, it will be on the radio if you do your research.
Yeah.
He said, if I go to the TRC, I go with these 4 or 5 people. He named their portfolios. He said,
not by name.
Yeah, he said,
okay,
one is a premier, one is an MEC, and 3 are cabinet ministers. That's what Joseph Mamasela said. Now, to my surprise, as I was following this, because I've got a problem with Mamasela. Even if you meet him one day, you call my name, he said, these 5. Premier, MEC, 3 cabinet ministers. Now, it was the time that Mamasela goes to the TRC. He was interdicted at the Cape Town High Court.
Told not to go.
Interdicted court. They went to court.
Yes, to interdict, but who was?
I was surprised to see these 4 names.
Let's hear them.
Matthew Posa, Penuel Maduna, Cyril Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma. Stay in the records, the Cape Town High Court. The interdicted. Why? Now you can link something.
Wait, let's take it slow. So, Joe Mamasela, does he qualify to? Because I still want to get the full name of the full definition of an askari. Is Joe Mamasela a full-blown askari? Can we call him an askari?
Yes, he's a full-blown askari.
Joe Mamasela, who is an askari, please Google what is an askari if he doesn't get the chance to do that. Names people who he says, these people.
We're working with him.
So I'm working with him. And when he was to go and testify,
he's going to bring them down.
He was to name and shame.
Yes.
A court process is advanced to stop him from doing that. And in these people, he mentions Matthew Posa of Umpuma.
No, he did not. He did not.
He doesn't mention. These people go to court
to interdict him.
To interdict him from speaking. And I'm told these people say they are doing it on behalf of ANC. Not for the individual.
But now, when we pierce further, who was the premier that Joe Mamasela mentioned?
Okay, the premier, are you saying it's
Matthew Posa?
It's Matthew Posa.
Who was the MEC?
MEC
was Zuma Konatala. Yes. Cabinet ministers.
Madonna
was Penel Maduna. I was surprised to see Cyril, where I think perhaps Joe thought Cyril was still in parliament because it was part and parcel of the negotiations. Mandela. So the 5th one, I still suspect Joe Mudise because he was late then. So, but those who came out of the shell to qualify what Joe Mamasela said, a premier and the MEC, Zuma, Matthew Posa. So all the questions that we need to know from them, the answers, why did you interdict? Not on behalf of the ANC, because the ANC took culpable. Or the ANC took those who had left the country illegally got the amnesty. So, so what are they protecting the ANC from?
I spoke to one freedom fighter who, when I asked about Kenny Mutsama, he said, Kenny Mutsama in the did you feel
Kenny Mutsama was PAC?
Yes. But do you feel, because the comrade I'm thinking about was ANC, it still remain ANC. Do you feel that the reason I spoke about, when you spoke about grey areas, I mentioned Kenny Mutsama deliberately because I've been trying to get him to sit here with me. Do you think the reason you were scandalized as criminal and this gray area is because they wanted to sell you, so they were sacrificing you to the system to say take out these ones as a sorry.
Because the truth must be told. Let's leave Gumsamai because he comes from another organization.
Yeah.
The policy at ANC, these babies are amatimer, those were the head.
Yes.
Was that when you get into the country, we must not kill. You must sabotage.
Yes.
Like Nerea Musporomolo, the bridges,
yes,
the pipeline. Now, amongst us, as cadres who are in the front, we ask our question. When the boss found you, whether you sabotage or not, they would kill you.
Yes.
So why I must not kill them? Why must I be given weapons to go and sabotage, not to kill them? I'm not going to kill civilians. I'm going to attack.
So you guys were selling headlines. You wanted to sabotage so you could have headlines?
Yes, you put it right.
Someone told me on this podcast that you were going and people were very happy in Exile to take these headlines so they'd be front pages. They get monies with this. You were selling that narrative.
Like, sorry, Shokwe. You go and lie flat on the ground, there's a police station, Mashiane Mol. Watunya ole molo tutu kaitunya. Umotu wataka umotu fesa akale matsamutu. Kiabaleya, it's an operation. I can't say I did not enter into the police station. Kubatunya mo charge office.
Yes.
The Robetika Dimpakwa Katunya police station. Tutoma saying come yes. Headlines. Advertisement. MK was there. But when the boss found you, what happened to you?
Take you down. So
now, some of us went against the grain. They thought that bomb was going to hit Skog Exchange. Because I was going to tell about Tomosto Exchange after a time, Kefonegere. So unless am I. There's a bomb in there. But so what's am I? And then Hutki, then Ki bomb, those are headlines.
Even
now, Joseph MAFUYA went for those who were killing us. Now the ANC was not happy. That's why even today you'll never hear anything about this operation here. The first operation to be done, look at the remote control. Done so professionally, you never hear anything.
And when you were asked that, was it deliberate to take out cops alone? And what if at that time, agree you plant a limpet as a decoy so people could clear, only cops remain, and the eventuality they asked was, what would then happen if people came in?
I know that after any bomb, the area is being cordoned off.
Yes.
Who remains inside the cordon?
The police.
Thank you.
And then the question is, what would have happened if people remained?
They defied the police. They didn't. So it's one of those
collateral damage.
Collateral. It's one of those things. The reason why a decoy was for the police to cordon off the area. And they did that.
Is it true that some of the mutinies that were happening in different camps and different countries were because people were eagerly waiting for China to go back and fight, and the bosses, the powers that be, deliberately delayed this thing, and it created a lot of internal mutinies, and that's why Kem Quattro was there just to silence people. What was the real story? Because people, when I read Brayu Masekela in the 60s, they said when they were leaving, they had a motto that says free in 63. So it was even a long awaited thing to say MK will rescue us from, but it happened in the late early 90s when you guys came back. So if you count the 60s, the late 50s to 1990, it's decades long. And there's no way these countries were sponsoring the ANC with money and ammunition and training just just to remain idle, sitting dark, because you were losing numbers. You were losing numbers, but white people, the Boers, were not losing numbers. What was the rationale? What was the strategy?
That is why you must just go and sabotage. That's why it prolonged the struggle.
There was just sabotage.
Yes, that's why we who didn't sabotage get ostracized. And then if you sabotage, it means we won't attain your freedom now because you are not causing any injury to anyone. You are doing damage to the infrastructure. The racist regime is still sitting there and enjoying.
No blood is shed.
No blood.
They don't feel your presence.
They don't feel our presence.
In short, if you can, I spoke to other freedom fighters. The last time I had said with a freedom fighter was in Tateja. He said he cannot give it to me in full. Kuto Carnival, was it a victory for us or a victory for Sandaf? Who won?
No, Cuba won.
Apartheid Boers say they won.
Cuba won. If they won, Angola, Namibia wouldn't have received its freedom. Tell them that. Because they had already occupied Namibia, Southwest Africa.
Yes.
And they wanted to take Angola because to remove us from Angola. Did they achieve their objective? Yes, Namibia is free today. They went out of Namibia. Did they win? So some questions find answers in themselves.
I can't remember who's this.
Quito Carnival, we MK were not fighting there. It was the Cubans and SWAP. Not because we were far away, the north and the east. How they won? Bakatile supply, Yamabur. They were already inside, advancing. So what Fidel did, Castro, they must never get supplies from the rear, from Namibia. So when Maburu realized, don't get in the SWAT, they were prepared. And we asked Fidel, we were here. When a man is down, don't kick him. Because you won't have any country to rule.
So in short, how did it end? White flag from Sandaf?
Yes, white flag from Sandaf negotiations. That's why they had to leave Namibia. But MK lost. So those who say we won, I don't know. Because we were removed from Angola to Uganda. What does that tell you? If we had won, we would have still remained Angola in our camps.
So MK did not win it?
No. SWAPO won.
Okay. Was SWAPO with Cuba?
Cuba and Russia helped us all.
So what I'm going to do is I always say I want, Freedom Park, they commemorate Kutu Carnival. Even this year they did. I always go there, try to get someone to say, can you give us a historian, a military historian who will come and explain Kutu Carnival, because it's one of those battles that I've always been interested in.
It was won.
It's very difficult to tell.
No, it's won by the Cubans because they were helping us with the MiG-21s and 23s, Russian fighter jets that the Cubans were using. Now the question is, I'm asking you, those who say South Africa won,
yes,
why did Namibia attain its freedom?
They counter it. The white guy, the white military guy who was speaking about, he was counting on bodies lost. He said they lost few men. The enemy lost a lot.
A war is not achieved that way. There's a game that we used to play, Rebita Risk, in Exile, where you purchase soldier, like
Monopoly,
the more soldiers you have, even if they kill, when only 20, laka bulaya 17, when now bulaya 3 high, you won.
Yes.
Did you lose? Now I'm just giving you that analogy.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not count bodies.
Yes.
Simple question, Kuru. Why did you leave Namibia?
To achieve the mission.
Yeah, why did you leave?
Yes.
Why did you leave Namibia? Because you were there. Why did you leave?
Okay. Now I'm done with the podcast.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wanted to come in advance that you feel we have not touched?
In at least I have highlighted here Matthew Posa.
Yes.
Why did they interdict Mamasela? Because this will tell us more about Mosaiting.
And like you said, you're going to have to pose a lot of questions.
Yeah, those questions. Yeah, why did they And number two, the most fundamental one, why did they remove my name from the amnesty list?
Who did? Was it the negotiators of CODESA?
When they were negotiating, my name was number 2 on the list. Number 1 was McBride. Number 2 was me. 3 was Mtetelezi, and the rest. I asked Patience Mulekane to give me a copy of that for me to take to Priscilla Jana, so that she should be satisfied that my amnesty is being processed. But when the final list went and I was at the High Court being charged for my Halimele's death.
As an individual?
Yes.
Who's paying for your...
No, the human rights are paying.
Okay.
Being charged. When Steve Joseph, who was representing me, SC Steve Joseph, said this man qualifies for amnesty. When the boss said, no, but his name is not on the amnesty list. When I know that my name was there.
Number 2 after McBride.
Yeah, and I'm pointing the people who were handling with that. It was Matthew Posa and Penel Maduna. And my wife used to go bug them. And because they attended school with Penel Maduna.
Yes.
Penel Maduna used to assure my wife, I don't know, we are busy dealing with Joe's things. But when the final list went, my name is not there.
They sold you.
I was sold. So you forgot your escape of Sun City.
Let's see.
Yeah, because the tricks,
yeah,
they arrested me because I knew who I was.
Yes.
My comrades outside and one policeman that I infiltrated is part and parcel of my unit, arranged such that I be taken out. So the police arrested, but almost so my comrade spoke with other, look here, we are going to use your name so that Joe goes out. Pay the fine, because the party said 30 rand. Pay the 30 rand fine so that Joe must go out. And you remain when they won't charge you because he said, that's fine. So that's how I
got a decoy. You got a decoy.
Yeah, so that's why
the body doubled.
Yeah, so I got out. So Lena, he was released after. Sun City. We were tired, waiting, not knowing what is going to happen to us. Because here my name is being removed from the amnesty list. Am I staying here? Or what do I do?
So wait, so when you were removed from the amnesty list, Osaka only inside, not outside like other freedom fighters?
Yeah, at home. That's why I saw the list.
You were incarcerated during that trial. You were not.
I'm inside. Kituleka eve of inauguration when they called my wife to come and bring me out for 1,000 rand. The eve of inauguration in 1994, since 1990, Kabaleha, Pansaraka 1991, since 1991, I've been there, Sun City.
So, upantitili, in other words,
trial. Yes. For 5 years.
Oh yeah, otsena obu. Bafedu.
Because my name was removed from the amnesty list. And the lawyer that represented me, I think, ANC, to fool me. That's why I talk about a pursuit law. I want to understand law. Because because of the lawyer. He said, don't say this, Joe, they will hang you. Let's look at this one only. because they know it. But hey, you did it underground. Then when I realized Mokoto, things were going haywire, I requested Chief Joseph to allow me to speak to the judge. That's how, after speaking to the judge, the case was terminated, the trial was stopped, waiting amnesty.
Mm-hmm.
My name was removed because what I did was a gray area as far as the ANC is concerned. Did I kill an innocent person there? No. Why must they just...
So let me get, so according to them, yes, yeah, according to them, you're not supposed to target warm bodies.
They said we must sabotage
infrastructure.
Yes.
And because you do not because so there's this saying of saying, hey, so touching a white person, what's the worst crime you could have done?
I'm killing their boss. It's their paymasters. They are being ruled. It's the whites. That's why we had people, questionable characters like Bukrizani, who are telling youngsters to go inside the country. We knew that they wouldn't do that because we, as commanders, would stop them. But the outside world had already heard that over the media.
Yes.
The name of the ANC was tarnished.
Like I said, I'm done. Thank you very much.
No, it's a pleasure. I coughed up a little.
Yes, man.
But how hopeful something you call me?
Yes, man.
But the most dangerous people ban Malmoro Namo the frontline station. I must say it out and clear. Keep about the RPMCs.
RPMC.
Regional paramilitary councils. Most infiltration here anymore.
So I want you to group them. Don't give a speech. You want to group them. Who were the frontline states? And what was their relationship with apartheid government? And how did they treat? Just don't give a full moon because
all right. The frontline state was Botswana, Lesotho, and Swaziland because they are bordering South Africa.
Yes.
We had a good relationship in Swaziland before Sobuza passed on. After Sobuza passed on, things became bad.
Yes.
We had good relationship with Lesotho and Liabua Jonathan. After Liabua Jonathan was coup d'etat, things went bad.
Because the boss wanted regime change.
Yes. No, because he was harboring us.
Okay.
So they wanted somebody who chased us away,
Yes.
So that's why. Swaziland is, Mozambique is far away. Yeah. But after Mashele's demise, things were not rosy.
Okay.
Botswana yona from the onset, they take you, we are dukwe, because had we had a foothold more defendant state, would have taken our country a long time ago.
Because this is the confusion I've always had. Why were people even incarcerated in those countries if they were frontline states and not antagonistic to us as a people? But I don't want to dwell on this because, like I say, it's the last one. And then why was, for example, Zimbabwe not regarded as a frontline state, even if it's a closer border to us, via Limpopo? And why was it? We just want to understand that part.
An organization which was seen to be aligned to the ANC MK got ostracized, and that was Zipra and Nkomo. ZAPU and Mugabe was not aligned to the ANC, was aligned a little to the PAC and the ZAPU.
I want you to stop it there. The reason I planted that question was to want to understand now, and if it disappoints you, that the ZANU-PF of Mugabe and Mnangagwa seem to have very good relations with the African National Congress of today. Is it any link with the Zipra forces and the why is it?
ZAPU does not have a good relationship with the ANC.
What do they do? Why?
The ANC is forced to back ZAPU because of Lancaster. Who's our paymaster? The ANC. The British are still a hold. our guys fought alongside Zebra, Zimbabwe, and others, Baba, PC, they fought alongside ZAPU. And then came to the time the negotiations. Mugabe went alone. They were in alliance Lincoln. Went alone to England, to Lancaster. When he came back, he wanted to hear nothing Kankomo. So if he wants to hear nothing Kankomo, who is he ostracizing? You see? That's why we never had a foothold with Zimbabwe. That's why we couldn't cross easily to come this side. If we had a good relationship, could it be easy for us to cross Limpopo like the other people are doing now?
Yeah, they just
the boat, inflated boat, yes.
Yes.
We couldn't. We lost a number of comrades, the crocodile, the hippo. Their boats, the capsize, trying to cross to come into South Africa. The easiest way, if we manage to come Mozambique, and then we would be able to cross. But from Zimbabwe, it was a mountain.
Thank you very much. Like I told you, it will never end. Please don't leave. Or, we'll find more time to speak to them. Even if we can, we'll come and we'll go and visit him and other freedom fighters. You do know it's very difficult to unpack the whole thing. And apologies for those who keep saying, Mashiane, man, why did you cut the podcast longer? I don't want to be a hostile host. I mean, his days are gone and I have to give him a breather and not to prolong podcast. Thank you very much for listening and keep asking those questions. He's very kind enough to answer those questions. Thank you. Mashiane Politically Incorrect. Once again, Rallo.
Say this kid.
Akali